Hello and welcome into another edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hickson. I'm your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI and your host of this daily Sun Devils Insider Podcast. And I'm joining you on this Saturday evening, and we are over a day removed from Arizona State's Pro Day, and that will be the major topic of discussion in today's show. But before that, I wanted to just talk about Arizona State baseball for a second. This program has improved to 20-6 on the season, and Willie Bloomquist's fifth year uh, on the job. Landon Harrison, incredible season, already has is tied for the program single season record uh, with Grand Slams hit, and the Sun Devils just took down the only other ranked team in the Big 12 in West Virginia in a 14-4 game on Friday night. Very impressive team so far, and they deserve a lot of flowers. As for the men's basketball program, we have still yet to hear when head coach Randy Bennett will be officially introduced to fans and media. It will probably be at some point in the next few days, but we have not heard that communicated to us yet, so that's a wait and see. Until then, there are no shortage of players that have entered the transfer portal or plan to enter the transfer portal that Arizona State probably can and will target to try and build a very competitive team year one under Bennett. That will be something to absolutely follow. And yeah, it's a great time to be a fan of Arizona State athletics. Um, just as a whole, most of the athletic programs are thriving, the fan base is engaged, and Arizona State Pro Day and spring practices have just really hammered down that notion that the Sun Devils are here to stay as a brand. And that leads me into talking about Pro Day. Like I said, it was a it was a long day, but it was a productive day, and I was glad that I was there. This is my first Pro Day experience. 31 of 32 NFL franchises were there, and I'm not sure the one that wasn't, but we saw representatives from all across the NFL. Matt Ryan, the Falcons vice president, I believe he's the president of football operations. Um, Obviously an NFL legend. You had John Harbaugh, Joe Shane from the Giants. You had Cam Skattebo there. You had Ryan Poles, who's the Chicago Bears GM. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Monty Austinfort, the GM of the Cardinals. There were so many people, so many recognizable faces in the grand scheme of the NFL world. And um, you also had a lot of scouts. People don't really talk about the scouting world ahead of draft time, but I saw a Kansas City Chiefs scout. I saw several scouts from the Cardinals. I saw scouts from the Colts. There was everybody, virtually everybody. And it was great to see a lot of players, or every single player that I got the chance to cover last season, suit up in Tempe one last time. That was very, very cool to see. It was awesome in particular to see Xavier Alford come back from a back injury that cost him almost all of the 2025 season and unfortunately kept him from contributing to a potential Big 12 title team or being an all Big 12 honoree. Um, it was great to see Justin Watley. We actually got to talk to Justin Watley. I talked to him with a couple of other local reporters, and Justin Watley is just one of the nicest guys on the planet. Um, really good at communicating, really good at being down to earth. Just persona, like his persona is, I mean, I know a lot of people say that he gets a little too heated in game, but that's just passion. He just He's just a passionate guy. Um, he loves the sport of football. He loves Arizona State University, and he really has a deep reverence for those that has stuck by him, including media. And I can't do anything but respect that. And I think that what he showed over the last several games of the 2025 season, that he has the ability to be a rotational pass rusher at the NFL level. It was awesome to talk to him. Beyond that, we talked to Max Hinichor, we talked to Keyshawn Elliott, and we talked to Coach Dillingham. Um, all three of those talks were awesome as well. Keith Abney and Jordan Tyson are obviously the two biggest stories outside of Max Hinichor. Jordan Tyson was there. He didn't participate. He has a special day for private workouts with NFL teams a week before the draft. But being there was pretty telling. He was talking to a lot of different scouts. He talked to Joe Shane and John Harbaugh both, and it will be very, very interesting to see where he winds up. I mean, I know every single person in the Arizona State fan base is absolutely rooting for him no matter where he lands, but I think a lot of people are pushing for the Giants or the Chiefs, teams such as that, and I can't say I blame them. It would be very, very fun to see Jordan Tyson teamed up with Cam Scatterby once again or with Patrick Mahomes. Um, One of my last thoughts for today's show is that um, there were also several members of the 2026 roster that were there. Jaron Hamilton was out running routes and catching passes from Jeff Sims. So was Corey Butler Jr. Cutter Boley was there. A lot of Arizona State coaches were there. Hines Ward was there. Deron Reynolds was there. Saga Duatele was there. I'm not sure if I saw Sean Aguano there, but I mean, Marcus Arroyo, Brian Ward were both there. There was a wide conglomerate of Arizona State. Breed Harris, incoming wide receiver, was there. Um, CJ Fight was there. That's just off the top of my head. There were so many Arizona State players and representatives of the 2026 team that were in attendance. And I think that absolutely bodes well for this upcoming team. I know that it's easier said than done to attack a season with the same tenacity that previous teams have, but I really think that the players that showed up are well aware of what it takes to be a Big 12 champion. I think that they are ready to do that, and I think that going out there and seeing 20 Arizona State players work out for 31 NFL teams certainly gives a little extra motivation for them to go the extra mile in the months ahead to prepare for the season. Um, I think there's many lessons that you can learn out of that. Coach Dillingham kind of echoed the same thing. And overall, it was just an awesome day to be covering the Sun Devils, to be a fan of the Sun Devils, whatever other uh, avenue you want to take, family of the player that is about to live out their NFL dream. Just all around a great day. And I wish nothing but the best for each and every one of the 20 players that are going on to a professional career. It was an honor to cover all of you, and I will be rooting for you no matter where you go personally, and I know all Arizona State fans are as well. That's really all I have for today. Once again, Arizona State spring practice is going to rage on this coming week. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday practices once again. I will be at all three most likely, and obviously we'll be catching you up with all the latest updates around the football team, whether it's NFL draft or 2026 season related. Till then, thank you so much for tuning into another edition of the Sun Devils Insider podcast, and I will see you with another episode tomorrow. Thank you so much.